Hello YouTube and welcome to the first episode of Next Gen Console News. There are 6 weeks until the release of Next Gen consoles. In the first week of the Next Gen Console News, I'll be talking about how this limited weekly series will work, how the pre-orders went down worldwide for both Xbox and PS5, and a weekly news recap. Firstly, the Next Gen Console News Limited series that I am making for the channel will only be running up until the 7th of November. And will be airing on a Saturday. It will include a main topic or two that is relevant for the week, and a recap on the news over the week, if any. It will be written in advance, so if I miss anything in the news recap, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to add it to next week's episode. So without ado, let's get into the main topic for this week. So during the PlayStation event last week, we had the price revealed for the PS5, but no pre-order details. Price, as you know, is $3.99 for digital, $4.99 Australian, and $4.99 for disc, $7.49 Australian. The US PlayStation Tour mentioned not long after the event ended that the pre-orders were going live the day after. But Walmart, from what I heard, didn't want to wait, so they opened pre-orders on the day, which I believe prompted a worldwide pre-order launch. In Australia, though, the pre-orders went live around 7:45 AM at EB Games, Australian GameStop, with a countdown page for the pre-order. They went live for pre-order at 8 AM at EB for online-only pre-order, thanks to the current situation around the world. I actually watched how long the consoles took to sell out. The digital edition sold out in 1 hour and 45 minutes, while the disc version sold out in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Which is actually interesting considering it was a surprise drop. This allowed for a lot of actual customers to pre-order launch shipment, release date. Consoles. EB managed to sell out of consoles through to the 2021 shipment throughout the day. Overseas, mainly in the US, they could actually go into GameStop to pre-order the console. Stores over there had about 10 disc versions and 2 to 4 digital versions available to pre-order at stores. The good news is that the PS5 sold like hotcakes and is now sold out worldwide, even though GameStop in the US did a secondary PS5 pre-order round this week. On the other hand, Xbox prices were released prices the week before PlayStation did, and actually gave a date you could start pre-ordering. Prices, as you know already, are $2.99 for the Series S, $4.99 Australian, and $4.99 for the Series X, $7.49 Australian. They mentioned pre-orders would go live on the 22nd of September, and Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, mentioned they had a planned event to happen the following week for all these details and the reveal of the Series S. This info was leaked on Twitter before Xbox officially announced it, not long after the leaks. Once again, these were online orders only in Australia. This led to bots and scalpers striking all the retailers during pre-orders as the date was known. This also led to errors when checking out on these sites because of the amount of traffic that each site was getting. In the US, from what I heard, was that GameStop was doing in-store pre-orders like they did for the PS5 with consoles also being limited stock. Roughly around 10 Series X and 2 to 4 Series S consoles per store. Now I have heard that there is another Xbox pre-order round for the US at GameStop next week. Don't hold me to that. What should also be noted is that people who tried to pre-order the Series X might have accidentally purchased their One X by accident, as the Amazon listing went up by over 700% in sales for 1 hour on the 22nd of September. Whether that sales figure is from bots or actual people who confuse the console names, nobody knows. But what could have pushed up sales of the Series X was the announcement that Microsoft did purchase Bethesda. Only a matter of hours before the Australian and New Zealand pre-orders went live, which could have pushed up sales. Who knows? Now on to the recap for the week. This week we had multiple companies do virtual showcases for TGS. In other words, Tokyo Game Show. Now, of this, we have heard that Capcom is considering bringing Resident Evil 8 to PS4 and Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X get a $30 price drop in Japan, bringing it under $100 less, or over $100 less than the Series X, than PS5, sorry, in Japan, which possibly led to stock being sold out within 17 minutes in Japan for the Series X and S on Amazon, Microsoft Store, Yodobashi Camera, or Yodobashi, and the other electronics giant store in Japan. And it also sold out within 1 minute in Korea. Not surprising as much. Along with the Bethesda acquirement that Microsoft made, the company announced that Doom Eternal was coming to the Game Pass on October 1st. This is the first game in Bethesda deal to come to the Game Pass. If you don't count Fallout 76 or Fallout New Vegas, which are currently on at the moment. They started teasing this on Thursday night in Australia. We all know that the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales will come with a remastered edition of the PS4 Spider-Man game. The one downside is that you have to buy the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man on PS5 to get the remastered PS4 game, as that isn't going to be a free upgrade to the PS4 version. Which is a shame. Now Xbox did retaliate and mention how they're doing it, which is to just own the game and you can get the upgrade. Own the games that have smart delivery and you can get the games. The free upgrades. Xbox has revealed the price of its Xbox Series expansion cards at a whopping $359 in Australia, which is almost $100 less than a Series S in Australia. But in order to use Series X and S versions of games when you run out of storage, you'll need to get the expansion cards, because normal hard disk drives and solid state drives won't work for the X and S games. This is the same with the PS5, which will also require their own special memory expansion cards, from what I've heard, to work with PS5 games. don't quote me on that. There hasn't been any confirmation on any of that yet. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of Next Gen Console News. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!